You'll notice on the screen behind me a perfectly separated arrangement of these same balls. One color on one side and the other on the opposite side. Well, this box in my hands isn't just a toy. For the next few minutes, I want all of you to let it represent something much, much bigger. The universe and the way it chooses what happens inside it. When I shake this box, the balls inside don't form that pristine separation like here. Rather, they turn into something messy, mixed and irregular. The question here is simple. Why not? Why doesn't the universe produce this perfect pattern every time? Well, the answer to this question is simple, and yet it governs everything around you. The universe chooses the most probable state, the state which has the maximum number of ways to exist. In physics, we keep that count using a concept we call entropy. Entropy is the measure of how many microscopic arrangements a system can have while appearing the same overall. Naturally, according to this definition, the universe would choose the state which has the highest entropy. Now let's take a step back and move back to the box and ball example to understand things better. Here, there are only two ways for the balls to be separated like this, while there are countless ways for all of them to be mixed like this. The universe here simply chooses probability and ends up in the messy state. And after it reaches this configuration, we in physics say that it has reached something we call equilibrium. You see this everywhere around you. A hot cup of drink cools down because there are way more microscopic arrangements for heat to spread out rather than stay confined. A scent diffuses into the air because there are millions of configurations in which the scent mixes with the air rather than stays separated. Equilibrium in physics is not peace, harmony, or order. It is the state after which nothing else is likely to change because the most probable state has already been attained. Now, if I were to stop here, this would be a story purely about nature. But as soon as I step out of the physical world and into the human mind, something unusual happens. Because unlike this universe, the human mind doesn't go to the most probable state. It rather goes to the least probable one. When the universe mixes the balls effortlessly, the human mind reorganizes them deliberately. Where the physical entropy spreads out, our mental effort pulls ideas together. Where the universe relaxes, our thought resists. Our mind creates patterns that the universe can never create on its own. Now, before I dive once again into the whole idea, I want all of you to get back to a moment where this idea first became impossible for me to ignore. It wasn't one of those big experiments or something. It was one of those quiet, usual moments before the examination. I had set up my stationery into the perfect, neatly arranged manner, and suddenly someone walked past. The desk shook a little, everything moved a little before settling into the most random and messy state. That was exactly what physics predicted. A small disturbance, a moment of motion followed by everything settling into the most probable state. That reached equilibrium. If my mind followed that same rule, it would have stopped there. The universe had already finished its part and everything had already come to rest. But my mind did not. Without thinking, I started rearranging the stationery into the same neatly arranged manner like before. I had no reason, just an instinct to create pattern out of the state where nature had left randomness. And that is when the contrast became clear to me. The universe chases the most probable state, while our mind chases the least probable one. The universe relaxes in disorder, while our mind tries to extract order out of the state where disorder exists. And that is when the real exploration of human thought began. The idea is that inside every one of us, there's a quiet tension between the world we live in and the world we create in our minds. Because in a universe where everything else is moving towards the quick, fast, mixed, irregular and effortless equilibrium, why are we the only ones who keep pushing in the opposite direction? Well, the answer to this intriguing question lies in how we stay alive. Because every living thing, including you all, take in some energy and create some structure out of it to fight that same illness. The plants here take in sunlight and convert it into food. Your heart keeps beating to hold the rhythm of order, and your mind keeps generating patterns of thought. In a universe where everything else is moving towards the most probable state, We, on the other hand, are trying our best to create states which are far less likely to occur. States which have meaning, intention, and definition. And that explains how we created the internet, the machines, the computers, and the automobiles out of the nature's random arrangement of forests, land, soils, and water. That ability to reshape the messy into meaningful is our defining advantage, our ultimate gift. Now let's take a step back and move to the other type of intelligence coexisting with us on this planet to understand how truly extraordinary this gift is. Artificial intelligence, for instance, does not create its own patterns. It rather reorganizes the existing ones. When we train an AI model, it looks for the most repeated pattern in the dataset, the most probable pattern. An AI model improves by getting closer to what the examples already show. It does not improve by imagining something that wasn't there. Naturally, as an AI enthusiast and researcher, I tried to push its boundaries. I've made my research follow the same chains of cause and effect like us humans do, to see if it could do a little better than that. Eventually, it became better at reasoning, but it never really did what a human mind does without instruction. It never created a pattern which the data didn't show. And that, my friends, became the key insight. AI settles into the order which it is given. The human mind creates order which is missing. Every system in nature moves towards balance. Every star, every storm, every machine. But the human equation is different. We are built to lean away from balance to create our own equilibrium. Our drive, our creativity, our doubt to ask why. They are not flaws in the formula, they are the formula. So the next time an idea won't settle and keep rearranging itself in your mind, just know that that feeling is not disorder. It is your mind doing what it always does, pulling meaning out of motion. It is energy turning into understanding. It is the physics of thought, the gift that lets the universe know itself through you. Thank you.